Hi, I'm Debbie, and I'm back with a WIP update for my cross-stitch projects. I filmed my last WIP update last weekend, so it's been a week. So I'm going to be showing you a week's worth of progress. However, I did film my, we'll call it my yearly WIP parade, because the last time I did a WIP parade was about July of last year. I filmed that earlier this week. It went up on Wednesday, and so since it went up kind of in the middle between my last WIP update and now, some of the projects that I'm going to show you were, there's no change since the WIP parade, but for cataloging purposes, since my last WIP update, they're going to be shown here. So if you haven't seen my WIP update, please go watch that. It's the video just before this one. Turns out I have 55 WIPs. I have started a lot of WIPs last year and this year. And honestly, it was a really good reflection of just kind of looking at what I have and taking stock, because there are some older WIPs in there that I've decided that I really need to pull out more, and that I would like to finish them. So 2 of them ended up coming out after the WIP parade. I was so inspired. So anyway, I am coming to you from West Virginia, just south of Morgantown, and it is Saturday, July 5th, 2025. It's about 1:15 p.m. and it's about 88 degrees outside. However, we've had lots of sunshine the last couple of days, and the humidity has been going down each day, so it's been wonderful. I went out this morning and mowed the lawn in the backyard, and it wasn't too bad. Anyways, let's get started. So the first one I'm going to show you has been my 100 stitch a day project this past week, just so that I could get it to 1%. It's the most recent full coverage piece that I've started. You should be seeing what it'll look like when it's finished up on the screen. It is some artwork that my sister did. Honestly, she just did a sketch and showed it to me, and I loved it so much I wanted to cross stitch it. So when I put it into my software, I did kind of take out some of the sketch lines and stuff like that, but I think it's coming out great. I did figure out, I'll show you the project. I did figure out how to stitch this, and it's using the typewriter method from Stitchin' Mommy, where I started in the top middle of the pattern, and I decided that I wanted to fill in this central bit first. So I was taking symbols from the top and working them all in. If they happened to be over here, I would do that, but my goal was to kind of finish out my thread in this direction. So this week I was able to add about 750 stitches to this project, which means I stitched a little more than 100 stitches per day. Didn't get burnt out on it. I was looking forward to picking it up first thing each morning, and I have been able to finish this central area. And so the next time I pick it up, I'm going to come over here, fill in the white, because that is the most color that there is in this piece, and then start filling in the bits and pieces around it. So I love how that's coming out. I think it looks great. I am stitching this on a 28 count Lugana it's in mushroom, just a Zweigart fabric, and I am stitching it 1/1 full cross with DMC colors, and you can see those tiny little stitches. I love it. Looks good. So now that I've gotten this to 1%, I'm gonna put it away for now, because I've decided that since my WIP parade, there are some projects that have not reached 1% yet, and I want to focus on getting all of my full coverage projects to 1%, and then deciding on maybe finishing one of the small ones. Like I have an ornament size one from Heaven and Earth Designs that's at 44%. It only has 12,000 stitches that it needs to go in there. I could definitely finish that this year. And then as I'm touching on the full coverage pieces, I think that I'll naturally gravitate to a new focus piece now that I've finished Ex Machina. So that one's done. Next up, we have a familiar project. This is Halloween at Hawkran Hollow. I've been stuck in with this for a while. Last week you'll have seen that I think I finished this block last week. And I had started this block. I had done the words and the black bit in the snake here. And I had just started the black outline over here. So I stitched more on it on Sunday. And I think my goal is to try and finish this block at some point this year. It'll probably come out closer to Halloween, I think. Oh, it's right here. I am stitching this on a 40 count Vintage Country Mocha by Zweigart. And I'm doing 1/2 with the DMC. And here's where it is right now. Get a little closer. Now that I've gotten over 50%, I'm just really pleased with this. Like I can see the finish coming. So, all right, let's get close up on the block I'm working on. And you'll see I finished the snake, put the orange in it, and then I did some of those triangles around the edges. And I started on the first coffin with the mummy. So he just needs to be filled in with ecru. I did his head, but then it was at the end of the day and I put him down. So working up faster than I felt like it would. So yeah, I'd love to finish this block this year, which means that I'll have, if you're interested, here's the back. I'll have 4 blocks left. And if I'm just as inspired next year, like I could finish this next year. It's a very tantalizing prospect. And then maybe I will put more focus on Shores of Hawkran Hollow. All right, speaking of Shores of Hawkran Hollow, I was inspired to bring this out. Let's get closer. I started this project in the middle with that ship. And I'll put up a picture of where it was before I picked it up. I hadn't touched it in like 2 years. And I haven't done as much as I should do. It'll come out again. I would really love to finish this central block this year. I think that would get me kind of over the hump and feel like I've had a mini finish, and then I can pick next year I can pick a fresh block to work on. I think that's what I'm gonna do. So I am stitching this on a 32 count linen in Jade by Picture This Plus, and this is where I am. So from last time I finished filling in the base of the ship, and then I started working on another sail. Let's see, how do I want to get closer? Yeah, so I started working on the sail over here. So I put in a couple hundred stitches. I think this much of the bottom of the ship was finished before, and then I finished the rest of this. And then I started on this sail. So this definitely needs to come out again. I think it might come out this week, I think. Hopefully finish that sail and maybe do another one at least. So that one's very summery. Okay, so the next 3 pieces are ones that I was inspired to pick up after doing my WIP parade because I hadn't touched them in a while. And the first one is Better at the Beach by Imaginating. It says, "It's all better at the beach." And I had started up here with the its and started adding in some more threads in that area. This definitely needs to come out more. I definitely want to finish it because it's meant to be a gift for someone. And typically, if I'm stitching something with a purpose that's for someone else, I'm more likely to finish it. So this definitely needs to come out more. So since we're in the summer, I'm going to try and focus on this and at least work on it like once a week, I think. So up on the screen, you'll see where it was last time, and then I'll show you where I'm at now. This is being stitched on a, is it 40 count or 46 count? I think it's 46 count because those stitches are a lot tighter, and those are, you know, DMC threads. So this is where I got to. I added the yellow to the swirl behind the its. I filled in the anchor with that lighter teal. I did the bubbles and this little plant thing right here. And then I went down to this, to the beginning of Better and filled in a color there. I have to say, one of the reasons that I put this down and didn't come back to it is because if you look at the T and the S, there are multiple blues in there, and that darkest blue just doesn't look like it belongs. So I think I'm going to take that out and find a darker blue that kind of blends in more with the other colors there. Because if you look here, like, it is that dark, but I don't like that. I feel like it stands out too much. So I think I'm gonna find a color that's not so dark. But yeah, so that one looks good. So that's gonna come out more. Where did I put? Here it is. The next piece I'm gonna show you is out of Emma Congdon's Cross Stitch for the Earth. I love like every pattern in here. And I'm doing Pardon the Weeds, We're Feeding the Bees. Let me show you what that's gonna look like. I think this is so pretty, and this is also a gift for someone, so I definitely want to finish it sooner rather than later. So I think I'm going to try and stitch on this at least one day per week this summer to see if I can get it finished. So you should see up on the screen where it was last time. I'm stitching this on 40 count Valor by Picture This Plus, and I'm pretty far. So yeah, this will definitely be a finish this summer, I think. I can feel it. I can definitely do it. It kind of gets bogged down with all these fiddly bits, like you do like bits and pieces of cross stitch blobs and then you have to do a ton of backstitch. So this part right here has been fully backstitched and finished, and it was just so fiddly. So since I worked on it last, I finished the backstitch in Weeds. I added the I added all the bits and pieces here that are going to be bees. So all these little things here and here and down there. I added the yellow here and up there and up here. And then I added the green. I carried it on up. And the next time I work on this, I'm going to continue filling in the cross-stitch fiddly bits. And if I can get at least the cross-stitch fiddly bits done, then I'll be able to get myself into the mindset of doing the backstitching. I don't mind backstitching, but sometimes like I just have to gear up for it, I guess. So we're pretty far. We just have to do pardon, the word pardon, and then there's, you know, fiddly bits all around it, and then backstitch them. So I love it on this fabric. Valor is kind of like a soft green color. It's showing a little blue here, but I think it looks great. All right, so the last piece I worked on is M. Satterthwaite 1807 by the Shakespeare Peddler. I pulled this out in my WIP parade and I was like, I need to stitch on that. I haven't even completed a full page. So I think my initial goal on this piece is to at least finish the page. And the page kind of, they're landscape page, not portrait pages. So this top bit is cut in half, and my finger doesn't want to, cuts right through here and then up through here. And you'll see on the screen where I was the last time before I worked on it, and where it is now. It is being stitched on a 56 count grungy looking linen. I love it. I don't remember who this is by. I think this might be a Weeks Dye Works fabric. And here's where I am. Now, it doesn't want to show up very well. Let's see if I can show you this light gold color. No, it doesn't want to show up. It shows up in person. It's silk, so it looks shiny. It's like a light gold color. And I'm going to be using it to highlight certain bits and pieces. So what I did was I added in the little bits over here, which finished out this part of the page. I came over here, brought the border down, did these 3 lines, and then finished that color up at this top part of the border. And then I worked on the swan in this pale gold color. And I love it. I love it so much. I really wish it was showing up better on the screen, but I think it looks great. So, love it. And yes, I need to be in the mood for this because it's on 56 count. I'm doing it 2/1 full cross. No, I'm doing it 1 strand of floss over 2 fabric threads. Full cross, and I'm using 103 silks. So I have this like dark gray color that's similar to DMC 3799, and then I have this pale gold, which honestly I don't really know what its companion would be in DMC, but I love it. What are the numbers? The dark color is number 2627, and the gold is 2562. Love it so much. The stitches are so neat, and they're not squished or anything, because 103 silks are thinner than DMC, and on a 56 count, looks so good. I have to say, back when I lived in Arizona, my local needlework shop was the Attic Needlework, and they are huge on silks and 56 count fabric. And so I was inspired to try it, and I have to say I do love it. I can't do it all the time. I do like a variety of size fabrics and stuff like that, but it is good. I enjoy it. All right, so those are the WIPs I've worked on this week. This coming week, I'm definitely going to be bringing out Pardon the Weeds again, and I'm going to bring out It's All Better at the Beach again. However, for stitching today, I pulled out Autumn Dream by Cottage Garden Samplings to get some progress on that, because I haven't touched that in like 2 years. And so that's one of the older pieces for my WIP parade that like I want to get some progress in. So you'll see that next week. And then the other, the new project that I have going, that's my 100 stitches per day project, is a full coverage. I'll show you the image here. It's of Prue from Original Charmed. And that project was a recent start this year, and it's only at 0.2%. So that's my next project that I'm going to try and get to 1%, and I'm just going to chip away at it 100 stitches per day. And then, yeah, and then I'll just kind of like, as the week goes on, decide what I want to work on. I do have family coming to visit next week near the end of the week, and so I'm not sure how much stitching I'm going to get in while they're here. And then we're going to be, next weekend, we're going to be going to a family reunion in Pennsylvania. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to film a WIP update next weekend or not. It'll be a surprise. If I don't film next week, I really hope you have a great 2 weeks of stitching and that you're enjoying WIP parade season like I am. And, you know, continue enjoying your summer wherever you are. I hope it's not too hot. And if you're on the other side of the world, I hope you're having a good winter. And thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me. I hope you liked some of what you saw here, and I hope that you have a good stitchy week. So thank you so much for watching. If you haven't yet, go watch my WIP parade and tell me what's your favorite project from there, so I know what to work on, what you guys are looking for. And I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.